And we play our second game of the afternoon session here at USA Lacrosse Experience in Indianapolis as the women from Colombia battle the women of Great Britain. I'm Glenn Clark. He is Mitch Belisle. We are happy to be with you. Great Britain victorious earlier today, defeating Puerto Rico 17-13. For Colombia, it was a struggle, obviously overmatched against Team USA. They fell 35-1. They just want to keep making strides. That was the one thing during that game. Anytime something positive happened, it generated a great response from the bench. They got a long way to go as a program as they try to look ahead towards Los Angeles 2028, Mitch, and just making any sort of positive steps seem to be good things for them. They're going to try to do that today against Great Britain.
Yeah, I think they'll have a lot more space to breathe, so to say, against Great Britain. Great Britain, I think, is still going to be a very tough test for them, but I think there'll be more opportunities for them to get into their offensive sets, to move the ball, to play a little bit of offense, whereas against the United States, they'd never really ever had comfortable looks. Every time they had the ball in their stick, they were being relentlessly chased by some of the most athletic women on the planet. Now, they'll go against a very tough Great Britain team who I think is still going to give them a lot of trouble, but they'll get a little bit more opportunities to get shots on goal, to run through some offensive sets, and hopefully to push the pace in transition. That was the biggest area they hopefully will be able to limit against Great Britain, is that transition against them. That was an area where the United States just poured and poured and poured it on. It was just breakaway after breakaway, led by Marie McCool.
Colombia in the red shirts with the yellow shorts, the yellow numerals. They are moving left to right on your internet dial in this first quarter. Great Britain, white shirts, blue shorts, blue numerals. Early opportunity, but they'll throw it away. Scoop the ground ball back up. Starters for Great Britain, Sienna Perec in goal. And Colombia able to get that ball back with a great ground ball from Emily Vergara. Sienna Perec in goal, Tilly Shires, Anna Neville, Emma Oakley, Torres Anderson, and Olivia Wimpenny. Path cut off.
We got a delayed penalty coming up here.
And that one will be fired in wide off the stick of Torres Anderson. They will go woman up for the first time, however, today.
We've got a yellow card, a major penalty, of course. Not the major that you might think of in box lacrosse or even field lacrosse. It's just a 1 minute penalty.
And it goes against Vergara. So woman up for the first time. Great Britain very early on in this. Colombia starters were Vergara as well as Isabella Sandora, Katie Deshawn, Tori Perez in goal, Juliana Kyle, and Isabel Stockman, the starters for Colombia. Great Britain looking to take advantage, knifing her way through, hammering it home, Olivia Wimpenny. And they're on the board here in the first minute.
Wimpenny has been really strong for them. She had 2 goals and 2 assists in their first game, and there's the ride and the putback by Great Britain as they go 2 for 1 on that power play.
Making it seem too easy right now. Lottie Robertson with her first of the afternoon.
They're 2 top scorers from game 1, and then Lottie Robertson rides it right back, and now they'll take a little air out of the ball.
Serious problem for Colombia right now, and it was an issue early today, too. They just weren't getting the ball to the other side of the field. After Team USA was scoring goals, they were giving up transition opportunities. That's not a transition opportunity, but it counts nonetheless. Wimpenny's second already, and it's 3-0 Great Britain.
And this is that relentless press.
Oh, boy.
You can see it, and when they have the extra attacker, that's where it's even more vicious.
Unselfish. Lauren Hart from Emma Oakley. Hart, her first goal of the event.
Remember how I said that Colombia would have more room to operate?
Yeah, the thing
Great
about
Britain?
that is not so much, and they don't clear this one. It's intercepted. The goal's open. No, they're saying because it wasn't a steal.
You've got to bring it back to within 2 meters of the midline, I think, is where the ball needs to start. So that's what they're waiting for, is to reestablish those quick restarts. They're quick, but it's not wherever you are. You got to go back close to a line.
Emma Oakley thought she had a goal. Instead, they just get the ball. Already leading 4-0.
Ooh.
And that one turned aside.
Tilly Shires drops it and goes low to high there, ringing it off the crossbar. We see a zone here from Colombia's defense. So they're trying to pack it in.
Neville trying to dodge free, dumps it underneath. Fed back to Neville. Oh, great find underneath, ducking under. Shooting wide, however, Sophia Wise.
Nice job there by Colombia. That's a big defensive stop for them if they can keep possession now, as they're going to get an over and back call.
Yep. It's always a big if when you present it that way, Mitch. Big, big if. The answer this time was no.
They have yet to have a settled possession on offense. Looking forward to their first opportunity to get their offensive players on their end of the floor. Or field, I should say.
Oh, great save. Tori Perez skying up to get that one. Oh, and what an outlet pass. And it turns into a goal for Colombia. Alex Mazurchek scores for the first time here in Indianapolis.
A beautiful feed there.
All of that was great. It was a great save from Perez. It was a great finish from Mazurchek. Colombia, they did get it back, but it doesn't last long. And easy response for Lottie Robertson.
And you know what, Glenn? I was thinking it really is pretty amazing how I think one area where Colombia, if they have more time to practice, when they're getting that full court press from England, if they send a woman to the bottom of the box and they sub to the top of the box, you can kind of catch that press. At least they can't cover the offensive player coming on, so you can maybe shoot someone out of the box and get open, but that takes timing and practice to get right.
Well, you've seen they've been trying the full court outlet passes. That one turned aside, but it does trigger a reset. Mixed results. The first one worked out really well. This last one, not so much, but try to throw it right over top of that full court press. Shires swings it wide. Great movement from Great Britain. Jeez. They're just moving the ball so spectacularly well, almost as if there's no defense out there to stop them. Wimpenny scores her third.
The old first quarter hat trick.
Shires, a lot of contact. Not able to get the shot off.
Oh, and I think she slowed down thinking maybe that there was going to be a call, but Colombia certainly didn't slow down as Isabel Stockman knocks a stick right out of her hands and then says, "Give me that."
Perez again lobs it forward. They're able to clear. That's been an adventure today. Now, how do they get into their offense? Obviously, it was a struggle against the United States. They have, however, already matched their goal total from that game.
Yeah, and England must have watched that U.S. game as they are putting pressure right on the ball carrier. That's a skill where you counterintuitively, when someone's checking you, you need to run at them instead of running away, because as soon as you run away, they start landing their checks. But if you run at them, you start to force them to have to get back and play defense. It's quick ball movement.
A nearly impossible angle for Terra Nova leads to another transition opportunity, this time for Neville. Anna Neville gets her first of the game. 7-1. They've at least cleared a few times. Again, I'm not trying to set the bar very low for Colombia, but we have to be very practical about where these programs are. As Wimpenny adds another.
Yeah, it's about that growth and that development. It's like, can you string together 4 or 5 clears?
And that one won't be a clear, and it'll be an easy score for Sophia Wise.
I would say probably might want to look at taking that time out after the next one and going over, hey, let's just go back to fundamentals and to basics on this clear, or let's come up with something where we can maybe use different movements. I think utilizing the box for the clear and sending a substitution to the box, someone coming out of the box, sprinting back to get the ball. They do have 10 seconds to get that ball, so I think they can take a little bit more time, but they have to be deliberate about who they're looking for. Right now, I think everyone's just kind of being marked off, and there's no one open. That's a good job right there by Stockman to hunt that ball down out of the box, and that's exactly what I was talking about.
Alice Ripper scores for the first time. Stockman denied. Perek goes low to make the save. 30 seconds remaining in the quarter. It's been all Great Britain. And a little more Great Britain. Tors Anderson. Her first of the game makes it 11-1.
Yeah, the Hail Mary into the pack is not going to be the answer, I don't think.
Shires, that one not on target. Clock continues to run. That'll be basically how the quarter comes to a close. All Great Britain so far in this one. They're in front 11-1. We're in Indianapolis at the USA Lacrosse Experience.
Lacrosse fans, there's no better time than now to get the latest USA Lacrosse merchandise right here at the USA Lacrosse Experience. Make sure to visit the USA Lacrosse retail.
Sometimes it's not the moment. It's the moment before the moment. The moment you make a choice. The moment you take control. The moment only you can own. Gainbridge lets you invest on your terms. So you're not only in charge of this moment, but all the moments to come. Start investing now at Gainbridge.io.
4 goals for Olivia Wimpenny, 2 for Lottie Robertson. Tors Anderson with a goal, 2 assists for 3 points. Great Britain with an 11-1 advantage over Colombia as we get ready for the start of the second quarter. Glenn Clark, Mitch Blau with you here in Indianapolis. USA Lacrosse Experience. Sun finally starting to head out yonder.
Our greatest enemy of the day.
Whew. Been the biggest heel since the Iron Sheik.
The all-present Eye of Sauron staring us down here.
Team switch sides to start this second quarter. Colombia comes away with the face-off. It has been a struggle, to say the least. Coach Mitchie Ehlers, former world champion as part of the U.S. women's national team, trying to figure some things out with this Colombia program to get them going in the right direction to be able to qualify for the Olympics. Ooh, losing a defender is a good way to start, but no finish to be had.
Juliana Kyle running over her defender, Pennington, New Jersey native. She plays with triple threat at the George School, so another high school player, the young players getting more experience.
Great Britain able to get down quickly the other way. Hart. Lauren Hart, we talked about her earlier today, played UC Davis. That one's wide from Lottie Robertson, and we'll go back the other way.
I thought something cool about some of these players that we talked about. Alice Ripper, Emma Oakley, that was her idol growing up. Now they're playing on the same team. So some of these teams that have that mix of older and younger players, it's really a unique and amazing opportunity for these players that, especially in the countries where there is a little bit of established lacrosse royalty like England or Great Britain, you've got these women that the girls looked up to, and now they get the opportunity to play with them. Such a cool and unique experience that a lot of us in the United States had. I got the opportunity to play with some of my idols, Casey Powell, players like that, and John Grant Jr. Get to play with and against them.
Yeah, I guess those guys were okay. I guess they were decent. Shot clock violation for Colombia. Does look like they've got the other goalie in, Ava Kalmer, on for Colombia. We talked about Ava a little bit earlier as we saw her father, and her father was talking about exactly what you're discussing. Now, she's not playing alongside her idols, but earlier today got to play against some of those idols with Team USA. High school student being able to skip class today to be able to come be part of the USA Lacrosse Experience for Team Colombia.
Her proud dad is down there videotaping right now. You can see him logging some minutes on the iPhone.
Wide smile, and why wouldn't he have a wide smile when she's making saves like that?
I think that video might be a little shaky for him because he got fired up at a huge save there by Ava.
From a Harbor Fields, plays for the Long Island Yellow Jackets. She made 4 saves in one half of action earlier today against Team USA. This one would be a little bit more difficult, and not a lot you can do about that, as Anna Neville scores her 2nd of the game.
Yeah, and it just seems like the Colombian team, sometimes there's a turnover or a play and there's just a second of hesitation, whereas England, as soon as that whistle blows, they are picking up the ball and attacking. That mentality is something that just takes a little bit of time and experience with sixes that England, frankly, has had more experience there.
And they are finding the players that are slipping out, like Tilly Shires, who gets that one from Torres Anderson. Shires' 2nd goal of the game. And they do get the clear. That's been a little bit better, I think, with Calmer. And I believe a timeout.
They're going to draw something. I'm going to try to get something going offensively. They haven't had too many settled opportunities, so this will be one where they're going to get their best offensive personnel on, try to draw something up. I'd like to see maybe get the ball through X, get some cutters through the middle, maybe setting a pick. You know, you don't want to do anything too complicated, clearly, because they don't have a ton of time to put it in, but I think at least moving the ball through X to turn those England defenders' heads, cutting crisscross cuts, and then look for the over the top. That might be something that is simple enough everyone could get on the same page, but keeps that spacing, and then they have a couple options out of.
First time out of the half taken with 4:49 remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Colombia, again, just trying to get some things moving in the right direction. Not a ton of international competition. Very much a program trying to find its way. You told us earlier, Mitch, about how they're holding tryouts as well. Mazurchek had it, loses it, a lot of trouble on a shot clock violation. That was just going nowhere. Sienna Powell picked it up, running in the wrong direction. Emma Oakley doesn't pull the trigger at first. Instead, England will settle in.
And this is where when you bring the ball behind, you just get, it's like a pressure release valve. You get a lot less of an attempt to dislodge that ball, and the nice part is then you can look for those cutters while the whole defense is trying to match up, see the ball, and make sure you don't sneak around from the backside.
Calmer able to find that. A shot from Lottie Robertson. And that's worth it, probably. I get it. The idea would be that maybe if you're Colombia, whenever you get the ball, you just want to settle up. But scoring has been tough today. On the other side, not so difficult. However, for Georgie Southorn, that's actually her 1st goal of this game after she scored 5 earlier today against Puerto Rico. And just that quickly, how about another? Tilly Shires scores for the first time today.
Looks like we have an injured player, so
We'll get a pause here with 3:25 remaining in the first half. Great Britain on top, 14-1.
Make sure that Victoria Orozco is all right.
Played at St. Thomas University from Jacksonville, Florida.
She's used to this sunshine, right?
Shoo! Obviously, our thoughts with everybody down in Florida. I know it has been a very difficult couple of weeks.
Talking to Lou Corsetti, we mentioned him early in the broadcast with USA Lacrosse. He's loading up a truck after this, driving lacrosse supplies and just life supplies up to North Carolina for some of those communities that have been so hard hit.
Two storms, Helene and Milton. Anna Neville, her 3rd of the day. She's got a hat trick. It's 15-1. And, you know, you bring that up and some people will say, you know, what's lacrosse got to do with it? And the answer is normalcy. For so many people in those communities, they're just looking for something that provides them a sense of normalcy in what have been terrifying and just awful moments, some dealing with true tragedy, mental health. It's unsettling when you go through experiences like that. I remember, gosh, we go back to, I guess it was 2011, 2012, and the tragedy at Sandy Hook Elementary School, and a group of Loyola lacrosse players just choosing to say, hey, how can we help? And getting up in a truck and driving up to Connecticut to set up a lacrosse camp and just say, I don't know how this helps, but if it can help, we want to help. And for the folks up there, it meant the world to them to have people that just wanted to come do something, take their minds away from what was going on. Lacrosse and sport in general can play a role in these moments.
Well, especially such a spiritual connection to the game with its native roots, and get the opportunity to call the box championships and learn so much about the game, the Haudenosaunee people, and how important it is to them. Hopefully they'll be able to be part of the Olympics in 2028. They're going through that process to become IOC recognized right now.
What a save from Calmer, denying towards Anderson. Get a high school student out here making plays. Minute and a half remaining in this second quarter. Game that has been all Great Britain from the start. And shooting low, wide. Georgie Southorn.
This is where you gotta come help Ava Calmer.
In trouble, and they're not gonna clear it.
So you got 10 seconds to get it over that midline. You basically got 5 seconds to get it out of the crease, and then another 5 to get it over the line.
Under a minute to play in the first half.
Final minute and a half, number 1. Game number 6 of the day. 2 more games coming up. We'll get you a recap of everything that's happened coming up at the half. Ball knocked down, fed in front. Oh, behind the back. Won't go for Robertson. Opportunity here for Colombia. They got to find the ball, hold on to it, and they can't do it.
Good speed shown there by Alex Mazurchak, but just couldn't hang on. Just a nice trail check by England. This English team is relentless in their pressure on the ball.
Not on target, however. 8 seconds left. Calmer just wants to fling it down the field. And that's what she does as the half comes to a close. All Great Britain. They lead 15-1 at the break. Come back in with first half highlights and get you caught up on everything that you may have missed from day one at the USA Lacrosse Experience.
When a child picks up a lacrosse stick, they welcome the wonder of something new. They gain a community and the lasting friendships it creates. At USA Lacrosse, we believe the sport is an opportunity for families to create a lasting connection and make memories that last a lifetime. Catch the fun and bring a friend to pick up and play.
During National Celebrate Lacrosse Week this November, head to usalacrosse.com/celebrate lacrosse to find a clinic near you.
Every player knows the skills you learn on the field can be the foundation for anything you choose to do in life.
Thank you for connecting me to a greater community.
We're growing beyond goals on the field.
And our futures are united.
So thank you, Lacrosse.
For inspiring me to be me.
We are better,
Safer,
and wiser together.
and we're building a stronger future
For everyone.
They could see themselves play, and then we can correct it and then bring those corrections to the field. That's every coach's dream.
Halftime here at Carroll Stadium in Indianapolis, where right now Great Britain in front of Colombia 15-1. Glenn Clark, Mitch Bilal with you at the USA Lacrosse Experience. We have wonderful partners that have played a huge role in making the USA Lacrosse Experience possible, and we want to tell you all about them, like Bibi Bop Asian Grill,
Condado Tacos, Tequila, Margaritas,
as well as Penn Station East Coast Subs.
And then, of course, something sweet to let your body know you're full from Taylor's Bakery, made for you since 1913.
I want it to be known that 100% of the times that I have called the USA Lacrosse Experience in Indianapolis, I have enjoyed Penn Station Subs for lunch. Every time I have ever done it, that's what I've enjoyed for lunch.
I'm a frequent Penn Station attendee. Penn Station, Pennsylvania Station, New York City.
Well, close, yeah.
A little different than Penn Station East Coast Subs, but with that said, both offer delicious options for eating.
Getting ready for the start of the second half. Let's take a look at our first half highlights, see how it is that Great Britain has built up this 15-1 advantage. And in the early going, Mitch, it was much of the same. It was transition opportunities, failed clears for Colombia, and Great Britain just really piling on.
Yeah, relentless pressure from the white jerseys all over the field. You can see every time that Colombia touched the ball, there was at least 1 to 2 Great Britain defenders all over them. And then they did a nice job of sharing the ball. You can see sometimes they were 1-on-0 with the goalie and they would take the shot. If they were not, they would always look for that extra pass, and a lot of times that extra pass was the one that would be even easier. But so many opportunities in the ride and in that forecheck, as we mentioned, that just creates those 1-on-0s. And both goalies for Colombia really doing a nice job. We're seeing a lot of goals on them, but they made a lot of saves in between those goals too. So they're keeping this thing tighter than maybe it could be at 15-1. And we'll see if Colombia can put together some offensive sets that they could feel great about in the second half.
Olivia Wimpenny, 4 goals. Lottie Robertson with 2. 3 for Anna Neville. Tilly Shires with 2 goals and an assist for 3 points. And 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points for Tors Anderson in the first half. Getting ready for the start of half number 2. If you missed anything so far today, earlier on the women's side, Puerto Rico falling to Great Britain 17-13. So Great Britain on their way to a 2-0 start. Also earlier today on the women's side, the United States defeated Colombia 35-1, that is. On the men's side, Puerto Rico beat Great Britain 16-14. Great Britain was able to turn around and beat Colombia 21-18. And the United States defeated Colombia 25-7. Still to come, the U.S. and Puerto Rico, men and women, starting at 6 o'clock. Team switch sides for the start of this third quarter. And Great Britain with the first possession of quarter number 3. Great Britain, a program that wants to not only get things going in the sixes, they want to factor into the medal podium when they get to Los Angeles as a great finish. It's Emma Oakley for the first time in this game.
How about that skip pass through the middle of the defense? That's something that I think Colombia can work on in this half, is getting their sticks up in those lanes. Certainly, it's one of those skills where if you just practice it against a team like this, that's going to be a huge benefit for the future moving forward.
Again, a small thing, but a clear for Colombia. Trying to turn it into an offensive chance. Working to get free. Shot not on target for Juliana Kyle.
England looks like they might be a little bit more packed in on defense, so look for them to try out their zone possibly, see how that works. Like we said, this is the laboratory. This is where you can do things that you're not going to save for the Olympics. You want to try it now, get the kinks out, and see what works and what doesn't. So I wouldn't be surprised if England tries some different tactics, despite being up 15, or maybe because they're up 16-1, but trying new things that you're like, why would you get away from what's working? It's not about that. It's not about winning 32-1 or 32-2. It's about finding out what does and does not work.
Shot clock violation. Back in goal for Colombia, Tori Perez from Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, by way of Oglethorpe University.
Go Stormy Petrels.
That's right, Stormy Petrels. I gotta get a T-shirt or something.
Tattoo? Tattoos tonight?
Might, you know what? This might be the moment.
Matching tattoos tonight. Look
We're
out,
doing
Indianapolis
it.
tattoo
Going
parlors.
crazy. Got a recommendation for us? Let us know.
But they got to know petrol.
That's
I
true.
don't want
That's true. Yeah.
half-rate petrol on my body. And it's got to be stormy.
And they have to be able to do it without me showing them a picture either, right? Like, I've got to be able to say, we want a stormy petrol, and they know. Like, we got you. We got you.
They're like, Oglethorpe? Yeah.
Yeah, all right. No problem. It's going to be hilarious when we find a great save by Perez, but the rebound picked up and put home by Winpenny for her 5th. It's going to be great when we find a tattoo parlor that's actually owned by an Oglethorpe alum. It's like, yeah, obviously, stormy petrels, of course.
It's our specialty.
Great Britain gets it back. Winpenny plays for the Blues. Played for Forge in the Fly this season, the Sixes League. Part of the World Games Sixes team in 2022 for Great Britain. That up top. Their movement has really impressed me in this game.
And they're certainly, Great Britain is definitely looking to move the ball around the outside and work on their off-ball cuts. That is the recipe for this second half. Is let's see how well we can spread out the defense. Let's see if we can find cutting lanes and continue working that 30-second shot clock to find the best look.
Emma Savage gets on the board as the lead balloons out to 18-1. Colombia, I feel like the sets have maybe been a little bit better, a little bit more ball movement.
Yeah, and I think because Great Britain is in that zone, they have a little bit more space to operate, which is certainly helpful as opposed to being peppered by checks the entire time they're carrying in the offensive zone.
Alice Ripper open on the doorstep, but she can't sneak it in, and she's frustrated.
What
she had it.
Extra pass there by Winpenny. She had wide open shot, but instead.
Well, and what I liked from Ripper is she could have taken the first shot, but she knew if she threw a fake, she'd get a better look.
I would have liked to see her maybe take a little shuffle step to the right to improve her angle, but there was a great initial fake.
Opportunity the other way. Kyle trying to bully her way in front, loses the ball. And again, Great Britain in transition. This one they'll ease up. Winpenny swings it over to the opposite side. And skipped home.
Goal for number 2.
I mean, that's more like rolling it home, really, from there for Sophia Wise.
That was a nice top step. And the spacing, they're playing almost like a diamond with a player in the middle, so you have those wing dodge opportunities there. And Sophia Wise, nice top step, continues to sweep across, and like you said, you don't have to always shoot hard if you shoot accurately.
For Wise, it's her second of the game. And Colombia, shot clock violation. Gives it right back to Great Britain.
Shot clock violation on Colombia.
Young team for Colombia. Again, they're trying to figure out a way forward as a program. Wanting to get into the mix for the Olympics.
Katie Deshan, she has been all over the place. You can see right there, she's on defense with the long blonde hair. She's not the tallest player, but she always seems to be flying around on the field. She's been a bright spot for this Colombia team. Victoria Orozco, I think on the offensive end, a few times she's been able to bowl through the middle and get some looks. So just trying to find some positive, bright spots here on this Colombia team that is, while they've struggled, they have found areas to excel. And then Isabel Stockman has really been kind of their shining star with a goal in each game. I'm sorry, she hasn't scored yet this game.
No, not in this one. That one was Mazurchek in this one. Tilly Shires now has the hat trick. 20-1. And again, deep into the shot clock for Colombia. Just have to force something in the direction of goal. And An easy opportunity the other way. That will be cashed in by Southorn. Her second of the game.
Number 12, Georgie Southern.
And with the shot clock, there's really not much opportunity to not go to the goal. So even when you have that big lead, you could see Great Britain wants to slow down a little bit on offense, but if they have a break, they're going to go to the cage.
Yeah, if it's 2-0, it's almost kind of comical to not.
You can't pull it out, right?
Yeah.
That almost looks worse, to your point.
You don't want to embarrass anyone. You're just trying to play. All the way home. Emma Oakley for the second time today.
Goal for Great Britain. Number 6, Emma
Now has
Oakley.
3 goals for the tournament. They get it right back. Shires bearing down. Runs out of angle. Tries to wrap. Nothing there. And they'll settle up. Under a minute remaining in the third quarter. And dropping it low. Scoring.
Goal
That's
number 2,
Southorn again.
Sophia Wise.
Oh, sorry, that's Sophia Wise. She gets her third of the game. Make it 23-1 for Sophia Wise. Played at Exeter University. Part of Forge in the Fly. How did Shires get that to go through all of that contact? Wow.
Goal number 99, Tilly Shires.
Tilly Shires goes airborne, and it just trickles in, and she takes a shot as she goes down.
Number 4 on the day for Tilly Shires, and after 3 quarters, the lead is out to 24-1. We got one more quarter to go here in Indianapolis at the USA Lacrosse Experience.
Fans, scoop up.
Sometimes it's not the moment. It's the moment before the moment. The moment you make a choice. The moment you take control. The moment only you can own. Gainbridge lets you invest on your terms. So you're not only in charge of this moment, but all the moments to come. Start investing now at Gainbridge.io.
Start of quarter number 4 here on a gorgeous sunny day in Indianapolis, the USA Lacrosse Experience. He is Cornell and Boston Cannons legend Mitch Belisle. I am 7th grade spelling bee co-runner-up Glenn Clark. We are with you alongside a great crew from ISC. So get ready for this fourth quarter. Been a tough day for Columbia today. Lost the first one 35-1. Trailing here 24-1. Jordan Shaw did the math on it. We're going to choose not to share it. It's not pretty. But that's where they are. This is the starting point. We talk about this being the beginning of the road to Los Angeles. That's what it is.
Can you imagine we get to the Olympics 2028, Colombia goes on a run, and we can say we were there. We were there at the beginning when they were figuring it out.
They might credit us for starting all of it, perhaps. Torres Anderson scores for the second time today. So they're on the podium. Somebody asks, hey, how did this happen? They say, well,
it was that 2nd grade spelling bee champion,
Glenn Clark. Co-runner-up.
Oh, sorry, co-runner-up.
I don't want to say stolen valor in this situation. Co-runner-up.
His motivational words drove us for 3.5 years, and here we are. But there is a lot that could happen over those 3.5 years, and there's still a lot of countries that are in the same boat as Colombia that
100%.
Are just starting out, and this is a group that has really just put together their national governing body, and so they're really starting from truly the ground up. So it's awesome that they're out here, they're learning, they're competing, they're scoring goals. They've scored a goal in both games.
just looking for small victories as they try to find a group that can help them compete to qualify for Los Angeles 2028. Great Britain, they're going to feel good about themselves. They're going to end up improving to 2-0. That one somehow sneaks through.
I think that was the old hockey shot.
I think you're right.
The field hockey route.
I believe they'll give that to Sophia Wise.
And look, it was either Sophia Wise or Georgie Southron were both swatted at it and rolled it in, but nice shot there.
Fourth of the day for Wise, 26-1. Colombia, long road ahead.
And this England-United States matchup tomorrow is shaping up. That should be a nice one.
Should be great. Good opportunity for those two programs to test themselves where they are here in the sixes. And speaking of tests, that's what Ava Calmer should be doing right now. She should be back at school taking a test. Instead, she's here making saves against world-class lacrosse players.
Kick save and a beauty.
Shire's trying to feed it down. Instead, it comes free. Calmer picks it up.
And they're going to get a minor for a push. That's on Orozco.
So a woman up opportunity here for Great Britain. 30 seconds. So we approach the midway point of this fourth quarter. Make sure you're with us for that tomorrow night, 6:30. Great Britain and Team USA women. That one off the stick of Calmer goes for Alice Ripper.
Just a nice left-handed shot there for Ripper. Who's at UNC? We've talked about that.
Yeah, what a story that is.
Earlier broadcast.
If you weren't with us earlier, Alice Ripper visited Chapel Hill, North Carolina last year as part of a U.S. tour with Team Great Britain. And while she was there, she thought to herself, this place seems nice. I might enjoy going to a Biscuitville. I think I'll stick around. Got in touch with Jenny Levy. Said, I know you got a heck of a team, but could you use somebody else?
Someone with international flair. A British accent, perhaps.
That's correct. And a great lacrosse name, Alice Ripper.
And you know what? She did things on the field. Clearly, the Jenny Levy, this wasn't like, I'm just taking a flyer.
Right.
She is quite the player,
like
as we've
it's
seen.
An exchange student program or something like that. Like, oh, yeah, we'll let you know.
No, she earned her way onto that national championship roster.
North Carolina is not giving away roster spots. Let's make that abundantly clear. That is a tough roster to crack, and Alice Ripper's got a part of it. She will finish up her collegiate career with the Tar Heels in the spring.
Now Colombia will get the ball after an infraction. They're going to call Olivia Wimpenny, who's been busy scoring goals, 5 of them, in fact. They're going to say she was fouling this time. That'll be a 30-second minor.
7 goals total on the tournament for Wimpenny. Woman up chance here for Colombia. Trying to, again, we talk about progress. Looking for more goals than they scored in their first game. Instead, they throw it away.
And you got to think that Colombia, they're going to find their Alex Concannon, right? They're going to find their,
a highly skilled Division I experience player who's looking for an opportunity that has family connection to Colombia. Yes, Isabel Stockman did play at Marist, so let's make sure we're not.
Yeah, there certainly is. Don't get us wrong. There's college experience, but kind of that next level, that top Division I scorer, exactly. Yep. And I think the events like this is how word gets out. Oh, Colombia had a team. There's probably women out there playing that had no idea that this was an option for them. Their parents are from Colombia. Their grandparents are from Colombia. They see this. They say, wait a second. This is a path to the Olympics. So this is a great opportunity not only to showcase the sixes, but to showcase the countries and the opportunities that are there for so many lacrosse players across the country.
Emma Savage scored her second of the game, and then that's followed up with a fourth, I believe, for Georgie Southern. Or Southhorn, sorry. Is that her third or her fourth? I
have her down for 3.
All right, we'll go with 3.
Hats are off. The USA lacrosse hats are flying onto the field from the stands.
Tough to keep up when there's this many. You should see what my board looks like. It is chicken scratch at this point, how many numbers I've had to scratch out and write on there and squeeze into a small amount of space. What I know is it's 29-1 as Colombia takes a timeout here with 2:44 remaining. And somebody would say, yeah, do they think that they can change the result at this point? No, but this is what Mitchie Ellers is doing right now, is she's getting her team together and imploring them, hey, let's treat this like the score was 9-9.
And you see the nod, like there's buy-in there. This isn't a hang your heads. That was positive messaging from Mitchie Ellers, who's been at the top of the sport. She knows what it takes. But at the same time, this is a team that's gone through a lot over the last 2 games, and she's staying positive, saying, hey, let's go out, let's get another little win. Let's get a goal on the board. Let's play our offense. Let's take advantage here.
She wants to see her team execute. Has something positive to feel here late in the game. Stockman, they press out against her. She goes inside, ducking underneath, but not able to sneak it through.
Great ball movement there. Just an excellent trail check there by Olivia Wimpenny, who's been a woman possessed today.
As Eldridge had gotten free. It'll be a shot clock violation. It started off pretty well, but ultimately bogged down. Is there any part of you as a competitor, if you're Great Britain, as that contact comes up high, Orozco again will head over to the sin bin. Is there any part of you as a competitor, if you're on this Great Britain team, where you know what the score was that USA beat Colombia by and you want to try to match it?
You know, maybe in the back of your head you think that, but that's what good coaches are for.
Oh, I know Phil Collier's not thinking about that at all.
Let's focus on the process, and that's what the coach's job is for, is to guide that energy and that competition into a better process-driven system.
Shooting low, scoring. Lauren Hart, her second of the game. Getting ready for her 5th year at UC Davis. She scored 16 goals in her collegiate career.
We've got a card coming out. It's a green. And a yellow. For a slash. So I think that the official just grabbed the wrong card.
So a woman up opportunity again for Colombia here with 1:35 remaining in the 4th quarter. Trying desperately.
So we got 4-on-4 here. So good opportunity for Colombia to get a little more space. See if they can spread out a bit.
Thank you. Yeah, so it was a green on one side and a yellow on the other. Shot not held on to after the initial save was made by Perek. Nelson up top. Nelson feeding towards the middle. Shot clock running down. Got to get a shot off, and just couldn't hold on to it. Under a minute remaining.
Alice Ripper with the ripper.
One more.
Goal number 10 for Great
She joins the hat trick party. Alice Ripper's 3rd of the game. 31-1.
Colombia driving down and looking back to the inside. I like that. That's something I wish they could have gotten a little bit more early, is driving that ball nice and deep and then looking for those trailers.
One-on-one chance put home by Torres Anderson. Her 3rd of the game. 32-1. Final seconds. One more chance for Colombia. And one more turnover. 4, 3. Not going to be a last-second shot from Great Britain. They're going to ease it up as they win 32-1 to improve to 2-0 here at the USA Lacrosse Experience. What stood out to you most for Great Britain in this one, Mitch?
I think their speed and their aggression on defense. I'm really curious to see when Great Britain and the United States match up tomorrow, do they both utilize that pressure defense that each was so successful against Colombia with, or do they settle back in, especially against that vaunted U.S. offense? Will Great Britain have to settle in a little bit more, or can they push the pace?
That one is tomorrow night at 6:30. Should be a really good one. What's coming up next for us? We go back to the men's side. This should be a good one. Team USA against Puerto Rico. That one gets started about 6 o'clock, so make sure you're hanging out with us for that as we continue along here on day number 1 at the USA Lacrosse Experience.